Today I'm going to talk about a grammar problem that I see in many students' papers, especially students of languages whose native language is something like Chinese. It's something I call too many verbs, not enough subjects. So let's take a look. What's wrong with this sentence? He listed three things can cause problems. Now, as you know, every English sentence has to have a subject. The subject, and every English sentence also has to have a predicate, a verb to go with the subject. So, what is the subject and the verb for this sentence? Well, the subject is he. The predicate or the verb is listed. There we go. Now, what about three things? Well, three things is the object of listed, right? There we go. But the trouble is, if three things is the object of listed, well, what's the subject for can? This sentence has too many verbs and not enough subjects. So how do you fix it? Well, here's how you do it. You take that second verb and you put it into a relative clause. So he listed three things that can cause problems, or three things which can cause problems. And now, can cause has a subject. It's the relative pronoun that. Now, maybe you thought that can cause problems was already a relative clause, and you were just omitting the relative pronoun, because English relative clauses often do that. Well, unfortunately, you can't do that when the relative pronoun is acting as a subject. So that is the subject of can, so it has to stay. This sentence has the same problem. In fact, I think most of the examples I see of too many verbs, not enough subjects, are sentences like these, where you have there is or there are or there was or there were. So again, well, the subject is there. The verb is are. This, by the way, is a strange case where there is a syntactic subject, but are agrees with something over here. That's just something unusual about English, but for syntactic purposes, this is the subject. The verb is are. And three things, well, that's the complement of are, right? But again, just like with the last sentence, this three things, it wants to be the complement of are and the subject of can at the same time. So it can't work both ways. So how do you fix this one? Well, when you have a sentence with there is or there are two ways to fix it, not just one. So the first way is to use a relative clause, just like you did the last time. So there are three things that can cause problems. But with there is or there are, there's another option. You can just take away there are and then write three things can cause problems. And this is actually a preferable solution, usually, because many writers or experts on writing, they recommend avoiding there is or there are anyway. When you take it out, your sentence is shorter, and often it's stronger. And finally, a note on non-standard dialects. I have to admit here that sentences like he listed three things can cause problems are actually grammatical in informal spoken English and some non-standard dialects. People might tell jokes that use these syntactic structures here. And there's even a well-known children's song that I sang in kindergarten that goes like this. There was a farmer had a dog, and I won't sing the rest of it. But don't do this in formal written English. In formal written English, every verb has to have a subject, and you can't use a subject, of one verb as also the direct object of something else. So that's all. Thank you for watching.